Hey you guys, welcome back to Michael Clare to Arts. You guys know that I'm always interested in different things as it applies to creating art. I have done a myriad of things. I'm what is known as a generalist, which means I go at art probably a little bit different than your average artist. I kind of treat art all the same, right? Digital, traditional, sculpting. I just figured a creative mind needs to be stimulated, and I don't really, have a specialty. I like doing all kinds of art, from visual art to writing to music to sculpture. I mean, you name it. So whatever the fine people at Neebol, Neebol, reached out to me and they said, hey, we would like you to review our tattoo kit. I know there's a huge population of individuals that really love tattoos on their bodies. I've got a tattoo on my arm. My friends have tattoos, and I really respect the art form because it is something that is and has been around for a very long time. Tattoos, thousands of years, people have been putting ink on themselves, and I respect that, and I like the art form. There's a lot of incredible visual artists that work in the tattoo realm, and I was interested. I said, yeah, I'd be interested in reviewing a product that you can use to create tattoos. So this is the Neebol Tattoo Kit, which I thought was very interesting. What we're going to do is we're going to do a really simple unboxing. I'm not going to get too involved in that because those of you who are interested in tattoos or possibly learning tattooing, this kit might be for you, but I'm not going to, how do I put it? I don't know a lot about it. I'm going to educate myself on the materials, on the device, what it's called, the inks, and everything else. And we're going to try and make a good review video. And I will actually try tattooing a few things. Obviously, since I would be, quote unquote, a beginner or novice, I will not be tattooing on anybody anytime soon, or any type of analog that came from a living creature. I know they sell analog panels on Amazon, but I'm hoping that some of the things that I would need would be in the kit. So we're going to go ahead and open the kit and see what's in there. Then we're going to look at Neebol as a company and see exactly who they are, how long they've been around, and what they're about. So let's go ahead and get started. So typically in situations like this, I will have a little bit more knowledge with respect to what I'm reviewing. I suppose that if you've ever passed by a tattoo shop or seen tattooing in action, it involves a needle, some type of vibrating device, and the needle goes in and out, and the needle is hollow, and it injects skin with a measure of ink under the certain layer, which would allow it to not be on the surface, but rather underneath, because your skin is comprised of layers. You have the upper layer, the dermis, the epidermis, and all the way down past that, and it looks like they did include analogs. That's what this is right here. Fantastic. So this is like synthetic skin, and that is awesome because I was going to purchase some of this off Amazon, but the kit comes with it, so that's pretty awesome. And then I think I know what this is. This is going to be possibly the paper to which you would ink something. Yeah, that's the purple. Yeah, see that how it has a transparency. So possibly you would run this through a printer and it would print whatever sketch that you would have on here. And probably we're going to do that. I need to go and get a printer to be able to do that. But here's some napkins. Very nice. We come to baggies. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. Look at that. Okay, I suppose probably most of it's going to be ink. Here's some, looks like cups. So whenever you're doing tattooing, one of the things that I noticed whenever I had my tattoos done, obviously they don't reuse the needles. That's where we got into trouble in the 70s and 80s, is the tattoo artists were reusing needles, and that transferred blood from one individual to the other, and you got some people that got some nasty diseases from that. Nowadays, the needles are all sealed, and basically it's a one-time use. And the same thing happens with the inks. So obviously these bottles, right, you take them and you would squirt the ink into the bottle, and then you dip the needles into the ink, and then you progress with your tattooing. I surmise that the inks right here, looks like it folds out. The inks, you probably just squirt into the bottles, and you can obviously use the ink until you don't use it anymore. We've got some tape, probably to tape designs on, some plastic or gloves of some sort. Then we have tattoo supply, non-toxic. I surmise this is probably black right here. This is the colors. Right here, they're going to give you more black because black is used for outlining. Yeah, that felt like needles. This feels like the gun. And finally, green soap. One of the things too, after you do get a tattoo, and again, this is from experience, is you have maintenance. So you have to wash the tattoo because there's a degree of healing. Typically, it takes a week and a half to heal. And obviously, this is like an antiseptic cleansing and soothing solution that you will clean your skin with afterwards. So here, cartridges. This is fascinating. So again, we talked about that situation where you never reuse needles. So this is probably a shader which has multiple needles across. And again, this fits into the gun. And then you have, looks like your outliner, which is a single needle, and it's bigger. So you're probably going to have 10 outliners and 10 shaders. Very cool. Then we're going to come to the actual gun. And one of the things that intrigued me about this is a lot of times whenever you go to a tattoo shop, what you'll see is some type of electrical line running over their hand, and it's got a vibrating unit, and then of course you have the handle. But this is all wireless, which is fascinating. So if you're interested in doing tattooing, this is probably a great option if you're traveling. Maybe if you are a professional tattoo artist and you need something on the go and you don't want to have all your gear, you could just grab this in a nice box. So we have, which looks like, please remember to charge. It has not been used for 15 days. Otherwise, it will not be activated. So it is a charging situation. Comes with a cable and the tattoo pen itself. So go ahead and open this. Wow, it's heavy. Probably lithium-ion battery. There's where you insert the cartridge. And this will probably be the USB cable. Very cool. Looks like it leaked out a little bit. I don't know what that is. Something leaked out of it. Hopefully it's not the battery. A lot of times if you let lithium-ion batteries sit too long and they're not sealed properly, they will leak. So this feels like adjustments. Presumably to have the needle come in, come out, or it is rather large. I don't know about that. So it's got settings on here and looks like some type of a readout on top, probably for battery, and of course the cable. But what we're going to do is obviously we're going to read the instructions. Here's the cartridge, fits into the end. You have the adjustable grip, high performance motor on the inside, which is the vibration. You have a wireless battery. This says what it's made of, which is aviation aluminum, which is non-corrosive. So it'll probably give you years and years of service. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the setup really quick. And we're going to start kind of messing around and see what we can do. So here I am trying to use the stencil materials they included in the kit. I was unfortunately not as successful as I would have liked to have been. However, I am sure that this is a viable option for those of you who know how to use this type of stencil as a transfer that you wet after you transfer the drawing over to the material, and then you put it on the analog slash skin. I unfortunately was not able to do that, and I kind of had to make my own way. Okay, so after many failed attempts, unfortunately, I could not get the stencil to work. That doesn't mean that it doesn't work, that just means that I could not get it to work. I tried many times to transfer the drawing over, and the stencil kept falling apart after I wet it. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, which is probably the case. We're going to go ahead and we're going to try to do some lines. And since I'm going freehand on this, we're going to see exactly how it flies, because I wasn't able to get my drawing down. And I did try, believe it or not, I did try to use an alcohol marker just to put down something. And unfortunately, you can see, well, it does, I guess I could try that. Yeah. Yeah, it does wipe off rather well. I did get a little bit of it. So just know you will get messy. So do your best not to allow that to get quote-unquote under your skin. Tongue in cheek. So let's go ahead and reactivate the unit. Okay. I can see the reflection of the needle. So we're going to push it probably right about there. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what we can do here. We're going to go up, around, similar to the drawing that I had before. With an eye. Again, keeping this pretty simple. Don't want to go too deep in here and do anything that's gonna cause me to make it look terrible. But this is my first foray into this medium, and we're gonna let that dry really quick. Okay, so what I've done is I've just done some sketching. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and just start lining the unit. I'm sorry, lining the eye here. So it has this little opening in the top where you put the ink in. I have seen in the past where these right here have been used, and what you can do is you fill those up with ink, and just by the nature, let's say that this didn't have anything in it, by the nature of you putting it in, that open space is going to draw ink into the reservoir. The thing is you have to have it to where the needle has been pulled back from the opening in the front for it to do that, because the second you put this forward, it's going to put that needle forward, and therefore it probably won't pull up as well. So we're going to go ahead and activate the unit, and you can see it's already started to draw the ink to the needle. And so we're going to go, whoops, yeah, little bit of a spot there. And you can feel the resistance of the skin analog determining how deep you need to go. Obviously, if you're doing this on a person, they would say, ah, pain. So keep that in mind. The unit is very, very quiet. I've been in shops where the units are very loud. And you can see that it's very consistent. Let's go ahead and dry that off, see what it looks like. Okay. Obviously, this is the first time I've ever tattooed anything, but I've seen it done, and it gives me an idea of how to process Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to reconfirm some of these lines. A little bit darker. We're going to make that darker. Put that needle all the way to the front. We're going to speed that up just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to turn this. And what is basically going on is that needle is going into the skin analog and depositing that ink right under the main top surface. Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, this is what you don't want to see, which is going through. You don't want to go through, and you can tell that I've already gone through, which means I'm going probably too deep. So we're going to go ahead and pull back. I'm going now, trying to feel that skin analog, because whenever you go like this, whenever you go deep, listen, you can hear it. The second it starts doing that, you're going through. You want it to have a nice, even sound to it. Okay. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do just some filigree work. Whoops, too deep. I think I'm almost running out of ink. I think we're going to try the shader here in a minute. Yeah, I think I'm going all the way through. Nope. Again, it takes, me being such a novice at this doesn't mean any of the product, anything's wrong with the Neebol unit. It's me trying to feel that skin analog and how it feels overall. Great for practice. I think I can remember hearing tattoo artists in the old days used to practice on pigskin, which makes sense. So you can see, I'd have to get a little bit of the water to get rid of that, but you can see, I mean, it's not going through, which is good. Again, this takes a long time. Whoops, see, that went all the way through. Yeah, that person would have been screaming, "Ah, what are you doing?" You just don't instantaneously. And two, I'm sure there's a methodology to stroke, right? Pulling towards you is probably not ideal. I wonder if it's going away from you is a little bit better. Pulling forward. Yeah, it's whisper quiet. Yeah, what a mess I've made. Okay. These are actually for this. This goes, because you don't want to get ink on your unit. Yeah, see. So we're going to go ahead. This goes on here. There we go. Okay. So that's what this is. So you don't get a bunch of see, now you understand. Yeah. It works so much better. Okay. We're going to flip it over because that is a mess. Let's go ahead. We're going to do something simple. Let's do just a leaf. So we're going to do a leaf. Detail of this you can get is really spectacular. A little bit darker on the bottom here. Okay, so for the shade that in just slightly. Okay, turn the unit off. Okay, and you can just do this that way. Just wrap that up, put that off to the side. Make sure you don't stick yourself with the needle. That would be unfortunate. Okay, wipe this off really quick. Okay, so I cleaned this off a little bit. You can see I switched to my black gloves because I've already utilized the ones I included in the kit. So you can see in terms of line, not too shaky. Didn't really have any blowouts, but I definitely went too deep because you saw it went all the way through, which is not good. This is pretty much the maximum depth you probably want to go as far as a human being goes. Because yeah, I have had the unfortunate privilege, because I have a tattoo on my arm, and whenever it got too close to the bone, he went pretty deep, and it was pretty substantial pain. So definitely take that in mind and practice a lot on the analog before you decide to segue over to a human, because you definitely don't, if you've never had a tattoo, you don't really understand how painful it can be. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to the blue. Now they did include a myriad of different colors for you guys to use. Neebol really thought of everything. And we're going to use the shader, which I'm anxious to find out what it feels. Now what's interesting is I'm looking. Goes like that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put our safety sleeve on our unit, because we don't want a bunch of crap on there, and plus you don't want bacteria really to be anywhere near the tip of the needle or anything like that. If I can get this on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put some blue, come off to the side, maybe use a paper towel. Again, these inks are permanent, so do not get them on you nor your clothes or anywhere else if possible. Put it in that little tank right there. Okay, and just by turning it on is going to help move the ink forward. And there it goes. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can't do some shading. Woo! That is a lot. I'm gonna get that to not be so much. I don't think I got any. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, tattooing is 100% an art form, and I respect it immensely because of the complexity of the tools as well as the application of the medium. Yeah, to get a good shade, I mean, like I said, I've never done any of this. This is all new territory for me. You always, so we are in terms of ink. Yeah, see, this is I can definitely see why one would go through a lot of ink quickly. I think you're doing it in like a circle. Every tattoo artist has a different methodology, technique. Obviously, me being a novice, I'm just getting in here and messing everything up, I'm sure. Yeah, I've seen some beautiful tattoo work, and this is not beautiful. This is a disaster, I'm sure, but it kind of shows you the respect level that tattooing and tattoo artists really need to have. I mean, you think that they're a different slice of life, but the reality is they're artists, and this is their medium. And I think it's fascinating. Let's see what kind of nuances we can get here, maybe in the okay, let's turn it up just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and turn the speed up a little bit. See if that increases anything. Imagine doing this for hours and hours. I think my first tattoo took 5 hours. You can definitely understand why. It's just hard. This is a hard... I'm out of ink. Am I? So you can see the Neebol unit is performing flawlessly. Any kind of mishaps that you see will be because of user error. But I am having fun. And honestly, this is... very fascinating. It is a very cool thing to be doing. Something I've never done before. I always encourage you guys to do that. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and put this to the side. Get our little Mr. Wet Nap. Clean things up somewhat. You can see what the shader does. Yeah. What a neat unit. Quiet, doesn't disturb anybody. A little messy, but I fully expected that. Sanitary, very sanitary. And after you get finished, if you were to actually go and do anything on a human being, this is what you would use, the green soap, and you would wash the skin, and then you'd put plastic over the tattoo, possibly wrapping with tape. They really did everything, which is pretty incredible in my opinion. And what's nice is, when I'm done with this, I just twist, pop that out, wrap that needle up, don't even have to touch it, and the unit itself stays clean. Neebol, Neebol Tattoo. Definitely look them up on Amazon. Go to their website, check them out. They include everything in their kit basically to get started, and I'm sure they have other supplies that you can order. They list everything, and there's expiration dates on these things, and they do list as being sterile. So just know, there's protocol obviously with regards to this type of stuff. You do have to probably be a licensed tattoo person or in some capacity to do it on a professional level, but if you're a novice like me and you just like to have fun, I'll probably end up buying some more of these analogs and just really practicing. I think I'm a better liner than I am a shader. So let's do an outro. Okay, so I'm always one for transparency. You guys know that. So I went to Neebol. That's www.neebol. Oops, a little blurry.com. And you can see they've got so many different options for you guys. Look at how awesome all this stuff is. They've got different kits. Got the S3 Pro, F4, so on and so forth. Different price points. So when we come up here to the kit, press that. Unibody wireless pin kit, wireless power supply, wired power. So let's try that one. So, like I said, they've got different styles, different colors. Look at that. I mean, for about 50 bucks, roughly, which is what we're utilizing. Yeah, something like this. The S Pro Wireless, 70, 80 bucks. It includes the soap, all of this, basically, which is what you just saw. You've got the transfer kit, you've got the tape, the gloves, all the colors, you've got the unit itself, you've got you got the shaders, you got the soap, you got the black, the larger black ink. So 80 bucks, you guys, you can basically do something you've never done before. I think that is pretty fun. You can, let me see, gem cartridge, yeah, gem cartridge needle. Portable printer. If you need to do, the transfers and stuff, you can print stuff out and transfer them on to your clients. Overall, I think this is definitely a really fun thing for you guys to get into. Tattooing, your thing, not your thing. Either way, adding this skill set to your tool belt is something that I think will help you. It'll give you perspective. And at the end of the day, it is a different form of writing instrument and a way to kind of round out. Wow, we got LED and rechargeable, and wow, you can do all kind of stuff here. Really fun stuff. As a side note, there is a link in the description below for the F5 tattoo set as a convenience to you guys, so check that out. So, what did I think about this whole process? I have a tattoo. I know many people that have tattoos, and there's always been some type of stigma attached to it, right? Tattoo, dirty, ooh. I think that we kind of need to remove that and realize that tattooing has been around thousands of years. It is a way of expression and art expression that a lot of people love, and there's a huge industry that supports it. And this particular unit is a way for those of us who have kind of always been curious. If you're curious and you want to, quote unquote, learn a new skill set, I think that this is a great option to purchase. I mean, you can get for $50, $60, $70, $80, you can get this kit and basically start something that you've never done before. I'm one of those people that really kind of treats art, I don't want to say the same, because Obviously 3D is going to be different than graphic design. It's going to be different than oil painting, but the application of art and creativity is the same. Application of art, what does that mean? That means basically I don't allow the tools to stop me. If the tool is something that I need to learn, then I'll learn it. It's no different than learning a piece of software or learning a piece of hardware, maybe a computer. I can remember whenever I first started doing digital illustration, I was bent on staying traditional because I wanted to be an animator. And animators, traditional animators, draw with pencils. And back in the day, there was still a budding 2D animation business thriving. And of course that is coming back, and I understand that. But I didn't want to go on the computer because I knew that as soon as I went on the computer, I would lose that connection between me and the pencil and the paper and the characters. But I was wrong. I'll be the first to admit it. The computer is just a tool, just like anything else. And the people at Neebol really have put together a package that kind of considers a person like me. Maybe I'm interested, but I'm kind of trepidatious and I'm kind of cautious. The only thing that I wish that they really had more of, and I'm sure if I went to Neebol.com, which is where I am right now, and I looked, and maybe they have a link to some Amazon, or not Amazon, maybe a link to YouTube to kind of let me understand the tools a little bit more, because I gotta be honest, sticking needles into people, that to me is a little, right? There's blood and everything else. But I think if they did some videos showing how deep you need to go, how fast you need to go, what the different tools are, and maybe they have that. And I'll probably look into the website a little bit more, but for right now, I just wanted to review the unit as I received it as a layman, somebody that has no idea what they're doing. And honestly, you guys saw, I was able to get the unit out, put everything together, basically based upon my own experience, figure things out in a way that I was able to get some marks on the analog. And honestly, I'm not proud of them, but I'm not ashamed of them. So, you know, we always have to look at the process of learning is fail, get up, fail, get up, fail, get up. And if you start thinking in that capacity, eventually you'll have less of the fails and more of the stay-ups, if that makes sense. So hopefully you guys got something from this video. I sure did. I mean, I really enjoyed this whole process. I have a mess to clean up, but that's, you know, I expected that. So definitely go to Neebol, Neebol.com. Check out their stuff and see what offerings kind of speak to you. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys will have that inner tattoo artist in you. I don't know. And at the end of the day, you won't know until you you know, kind of examine and venture forth and try something new. Remember, it's going to be 2025, something completely new. Try something new. Anyway, thank you guys, and like and subscribe if you like what you see, and please go out and do something different. This was completely out of my box, so follow my suit. Do what I do. Try something different. All right, you guys, see you next time. Bye.